All right, what's up, college football fans, quarterback fans? Welcome back to another QB Spotlight video. In this video, we're talking about Texas A&M quarterback Connor Weigman and what he needs to do to have success against Auburn this upcoming weekend, right? What are some ways to attack this Auburn's defense, and what is Auburn's defense going to try to do against Weigman? What have they done the past few games? We're going to kind of hit on all of that. This is your first time tuning in. Well, one, thank you, and then two, QB Spotlight is just a big quarterback hub. We talk all things quarterback, specifically the college quarterback position. We'll have these game previews and recaps, as well as just quarterback live shows that we go on and discuss the college football quarterback scene in a broader nature, if you will. We also have a podcast. We have current and former quarterbacks that come on and chop it up. So if you like that type of content, please consider following us along, subscribing, all that YouTube stuff. With that said, let's talk A&M quarterback Connor Weigman. Let's talk what he needs to do to have success against Auburn. What are some keys for Weigman? I think the overall just keys, at least the theme in my opinion and my perspective, is to find ways to slow down the potential pass rush that I think Auburn will be trying to have. Find ways to slow that down while still playing to your comfort, still playing to your strengths if you're Weigman. We're going to get into that in a second, but I do want to talk about this Auburn defense first, because that's going to kind of give us some good perspective. And again, if this is your first time tuning in, thanks. If you've followed us for a while, then you know that we usually put on like game film and kind of break that down. It's just kind of getting tougher and tougher to do so. The broadcast footage isn't great. We don't have the all 22 as of now, so and YouTube kind of doesn't really like me to put on game film. So this video won't have any game film, so hopefully we do a good job explaining the keys without using game film to describe it. But Auburn's defense, back to that. They haven't really played any challenging opponent yet, right? They played Cal, Power 5 school. They got that win 14-10, I believe was the final score. But besides Cal, they've played UMass and Samford, so not really a lot of big takeaways. Now, in those games, they've gotten some pressures and some sacks, but I just kind of want to focus on the game against Cal, because that's going to be the most relevant defensive breakdown, I think, just because the talent level is closer than Samford and UMass is to A&M. So against Cal, they only gave up 10 points. They didn't give a bunch of yards. They did not give up a bunch of yards passing either. Only $160. The yards per attempt were like 4 point something. So there was like real no vertical threat against Auburn's defense. Now that's one, Auburn's defense did a good job just saying, hey, try to beat us, and they couldn't. And then two, the quarterbacks aren't going to be the same level as quarterbacks that Connor Weigman is, that the Auburn defense will be facing. They're going to have a much more explosive offense. A&M is. But against Cal, they did get 15 total pressures, and they were able to get 2 sacks. So if you're Auburn, of course, you're going to try to replicate that against Connor Weigman, against the A&M offense that has looked a lot better than last year. Now against Miami, there were some struggles, and of course they didn't come out on top. Against New Mexico, they look good first game of the year, and then against UL Monroe, they look good as well, taking some big shots. So even though those two teams aren't great, I still think it's encouraging if you're an A&M fan that the offense has looked better so far. I know Miami wasn't the performance you wanted, but there were still some good takeaways against Miami. So if you are Connor Weigman, how do you slow down this pass rush? What are some keys against this Auburn defense that we don't know much about yet, but we can assume they want to try to get pressure on the quarterback? Well, I think number one, and this is probably, again, you can probably say this about any A&M offense right now until proven otherwise, is you want to take some vertical shots. You want to complete on vertical shots. Something that A&M's offense wasn't able to do a lot of last year, but so far they've had some success. Again, the schools besides Miami aren't great competition. They're still D1 schools, FBS schools that you're able to have success on. So far, Weigman's done a good job. 9 completions of 20-plus yards in the air downfield. That's good in 3 games. And he's had 30 completions of 10-plus yards, so between 10 and 19 range. And so they've done a good job pushing the ball downfield, but then also taking more of those intermediate-type throws. It hasn't just been the dinking and dunking that maybe, the slow-paced offense, if you will, that's been A&M fans have been accustomed to the past few years. So I think you've shown some success to do that. So I think if you're A&M, I think you want to challenge them. I think you want to try to hit those vertical shots early. Because, yeah, Auburn's defense has played well, but if you're A&M, it's like, yo, we got playmakers. Like who have y'all played? So if I'm Weigman and A&M's offense, I'm like, let's challenge them early. Let's see what they're all about. Let's see if we can, 1, have some success, 2, slow down the pass rush, like taking some vertical shots, and 3, see if they can defend our receivers, if they can defend our talent, right? So I'm taking some shots, and I'm taking some shots early for those several different reasons why. Okay. Number 2, I want to play within my strength, play within my comfort zone, but also play with having the ability to change that if I need to, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is how Weigman distributes the ball throughout the field. He likes to sit in the middle of the field. He likes to sit in between the numbers, like a lot of quarterbacks do. It's a quicker, easier throw. 570 yards of his 900-ish yards passing have been between the numbers, have been living in the middle of the field. But with that said, he's still showing their ability to distribute the ball on other parts of the field, from the left side, the right side. Like, he's got touchdowns in every part of the field so far, which is good. So I think if you're Weigman, you're going into the game thinking, okay, my strengths, I feel comfortable, I can hit the middle of the field quickly, the ball gets out quickly, I'm able to hopefully decrease the pass rush by getting the ball out quick and hitting the middle of the field. But if not, if they take that away, if they force you to throw the ball outside the numbers, he's shown the ability to do that. So I think you're able to do that if you have to. But I think you want to explore that option only if you have to. I think you're hitting quick throws. I think you're hitting the middle of the field. This is going to lead to point number 3. But before we kind of wrap up key number 2, you've shown the ability to throw all over the field. But I still think you come out, hit the middle of the field unless they take that away from you, and then you can rely on your ability to throw it all over the field and really spread out the defense, if you will. Number 3 kind of goes hand in hand with the middle of the field type throws, but you want to take what the defense gives you. And so if they don't give you middle of the field, okay, well, you have the ability to throw outside the numbers, a little longer throw, tougher throws, but you go out and do it. If the middle of the field is there, you take it. Also, we talked about slowing down the pass rush, right? And we talked about taking what the defense gives you on this point, on point number 3. I think that's a big key for Weigman, because against Miami, against the pass rush, A&M's offense wasn't very good. Some of that was probably on Weigman, some of that was just an offensive line, receivers, combination of things. But they were Weigman was 9 of 26 against pressure. So they weren't even able to complete half the passes against pressure. This is why I think Auburn's really going to want to try to dial up some schemes and dial up some plays to get pressure on Weigman. Now, he was better against pressure against the other 2 schools. When pressure was in his face, he was a lot better against New Mexico and UL Monroe. But Auburn's a different beast, right? And when they played Miami, he was 9-26. So you want to take what the defense gives you, get the ball out quick, utilize whatever part of the field that they have for you if you're Weigman, and then I think you want to take some vertical shots early, right? So overall takeaways, just to kind of recap what we think the keys are for Weigman, is you're trying to find ways to slow down the pressure. You don't want pressure in the face. Some quarterbacks are really good against pressure, some aren't. Weigman probably has a chance to be really good, but you'd rather throw from a clean pocket than with pressure in your face, regardless if you're good against pressure. So finding different ways to slow down the pressure while playing to your strengths and playing what you're comfortable with. So Weigman's case, I'm good at throwing between the numbers. I want to continue to do that. But also, if I have to adapt and adjust because the defense takes it away from me, I have the ability to throw outside the numbers as well, right? So hit some vertical shots, take what the defense gives you, play to your strengths, but also be able to adjust if the situation causes for that, right? So if you're an A&M fan or an Auburn fan or just a football fan in general, what are your thoughts for Connor Weigman? What are your thoughts for A&M's offense against Auburn's defense? Is Auburn's defense going to be as good as they've been the past few games? Can A&M expose the defense, if you will, because now they're playing a higher level of competition? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, we just talked about the quarterback kind of position. We just talked about points that relate to the quarterback position. So if you have any more points you want to talk about, let us know. If you have any points from the run game, the offensive line, other stuff from Auburn's defense that maybe we didn't touch on, let us know, because we didn't hit on every factor that will play a role in determining this game. We just talked about some factors that relate to the quarterback position. So let us know in the comments below if you like this type of video, this type of quick preview. I don't even know what we're at, maybe 8-9 minutes, something like that. But if you like this type of preview, please consider just subscribing and liking the channel. It really does help us. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.